What's going on? What is shaking YouTube? Another live here. check out the insanity that is today. What's going on in the Bitcoin universe? It seems that we are stuck in a golden pocket. So that's the news for today. Honestly, not much. Take a look at what the market's kind of telling us, but yeah, this may be a decent place to be thinking about a short, but it looks a little bit suspicious. A little bit suspicious here on a 30-minute chart. We got a possible M formation coming in here. Now can't break this low, so what are we doing in here? Well, who knows? Who knows? What's going on, Builder Bab, Funky Pants, Marius? Hope you guys are good. Hope you are good. So right now, this is the story. We're just in this range here. And let's see if we can start making some power moves out of this. We'll bring it down to the lower time frame here. All right, but looks pretty generic. Pretty chilled out. We got the Asia move up. So let's see what happens here. It definitely looks like it could break down. Joker, and how you doing, my man? Hope all is well. Yeah, a little bit too relaxed for my liking, especially after the news yesterday. But it was a bit of a big mixed bag results there. Meta crushing it, Microsoft pretty flat, Tesla having those woe is me earnings reports. We do have some pretty, I would say, kind of bullish sentiment coming out of the Fed. But that is generally true. They're always going to try to keep you unaware that the house is on fire and you should be getting the hell out of Dodge. One thing that continues to sort of bother me about the Fed is how they talk about inflation being in check, but they also say that food and energy is still problematic, and you don't include food and energy in your CPI data, all right? In the PPI, it goes in a little bit different, but then there's no food in the PPI. So it's pretty weird, man. Pretty weird is all I will say. So what I'd be looking for here is just a signal of strength breaking either side of this range here, all right? But it would be more short, sort of biased here just because we are, running into some really decent resistance here. So let's go over that. All right, so we've come up, swept this previous high here, and we can think about this potentially putting in a swing failure pattern to the downside on the higher time frame. Oh, here it goes. Look out. Look out. Pre-market open, and it is looking like it's going to do the power move. So again, when we see a consolidation like this, you know, that's what we got to think about is what's going on here is, for the most part, the bigs are going to be just moving their positions, either getting rid of positions as they come up, they start taking profit on longs, or they start to get their shorts in order before breaking out, right? Or if they're not in anything and they've seen that we're now getting a nice up move going, they might start to get their longs in order. Now, again, what we do have is a massive break to the upside. So our initial balance of the week has broken to the upside, meaning that generically speaking, or generally speaking, we are bullish, all right? But it doesn't mean we're bullish at the highs, right? But we're not going to be coming down here, that's for sure. And when I say that's for sure, it's a probabilistic that's for sure. So, and that's only applies for today and tomorrow, right? So even if we do dump here, let's try to figure out where the heck we can find some support, all right? So on the 1 hour chart, we've got order block right here. It's not a fantastic order block, but you do have, I mean, it's good enough. Good enough on the half hour. So this is going to be our first sort of zone here that we're looking at. The problem with this is that your Asia low is all the way down here. So if we're coming for a stop hunt of the Asia low, that's where it's going to be. All right. So it'd be this order block. Then we're going to be looking at this low right here, which is our Asia low. So that would be a great place for a stop hunt. And we get our fibs going. We've got the 0.5 just above our Asia low. And we've got this nice golden pocket right here. So that's pretty cute. That is pretty cute. And again, people will start kind of panicking about this. Really don't need to panic, but that's what people are going to do. All right. And if we look on our higher time frame, if this does go down, we're going to be looking at our new Fibonacci range here, right? So the first thing that we got to think about is that nasty green pocket. All right. So the green pocket is in line with the 786 high of it, and the low of it's in line with the 886. So this is a good zone here as well. Now, will it go down there? Who knows, right? Who knows? But if we see them start to move out of here with aggression, too bad it's at 207 right now. Pretty crazy time to be getting in on a trade, but that's the way they've been playing it lately. New York has let the opening range sort of unscathed from one side to the other on these big moves. So yeah, kind of worrying in that sense. But if it does start moving, you know, go down to your lower time frames, check out the big three, check out any pullbacks into the 20 or the 21 EMA. And that would be on the 5 minute, right? So 1 minute on the big three, 5 minute on the 20 EMA or 21. They're pretty much the exact same thing. So yeah, that's sort of the way we're looking at it. If we take a peek at our volume profiles here, you know, everybody, I saw a funny comment in the Discord, we're putting in a P formation. We are, but the you know, there's a lot of time left to this day, so let's see what happens for the remainder of the day now. All right, value area low holding here. Let's see what that does for us. All right, but if we come back and start trying to figure out where this could potentially hold here, it is a big node here, but we can chop it up into 3 sections. Right, and I'd call this high value node. It's just huge, but so the previous day's value area is already held today once, and that would be where we'd be coming down to snag up any liquidity if we're going for that Asia stop to the downside. All right, that is a pretty tall order here, I think, but it could happen. All right. Then if we look into the current days, all right, we just bounced off of this little guy here. And then we've got this little guy, something like this. Looks like alts are going up. All right, and there goes that hit. So also the 382 here. That's a good sign of strength. But again, we're just coming out of this range for the first time. Let's just pop this down to that 1 minute chart. Start having a peek here. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Hit off the 382. Relatively bullish candle there. Would have been nice if it had engulfed that, but and you've got a shaved bottom here. So selling right into the bottom of this candle, trap shorts, bring price back up. I've been finding the 1 minute volume candles a little interesting lately, says 30 plus million here and there each day. Yeah, that'll happen, man. That'll happen. Yo, Majid. So yeah, let's see how this plays out. One more thing I'm going to say, the internet here again, the storms have eased up. It's a sunny day today, but apparently they're repairing all kinds of stuff around here. So I actually was having some internet issues earlier. I did a speed test. I was at like 10 megs, which is crazy slow. So if things slow down here, sorry about that. All right, I apologize for any lagging. Preemptive lagging apology. Okay, so that's the way it's kind of standing right now. And you can see in these little volume nodes, we've got 0.5. There's all kinds of support here. Golden pocket in that volume node. And then again down here in this whole zone, we're looking at that bigger time frame golden pocket. Do you expect small pullback from GP zone? No, I don't expect anything. I do not expect a thing. What I expect is, so we're in a big golden pocket right now. I want to see how this consolidation plays out. We've got a pretty bullish formation happening here on our volume profile. So let's see how that goes. All right, the big thing here today is going to be the 0.5. We can close above that 0.5, then all is good and still looks relatively bullish. But yeah, you know, this is what I would expect to see reactions from. All right, so it's not like I'm expecting a huge pullback from this, but when it starts pulling back, if it does, then these are the sort of levels I'm going to be really paying attention to, among other things, right? I haven't put any fair value gaps on here, no order blocks, no nothing. So as price is coming down, I'm just going to be looking at what's going on. And then as far as taking a short on this, I would really want to see some aggressive move down here. Definitely lose this 382. That would be our first thing. And then be looking at this golden pocket. Also the 0.5, obviously, right? But if we do lose this 382 and we get a nice pullback, I would then be more apt to short this. It is a, you know, there is a lot of resistance here, but it doesn't look like anybody has bit on this resistance yet. So let's take a quick peek at volume here. All right, so you can see as we've come up here, the bulls are still putting in the bigger volume on these pushes. These trying to stay sort of above this 618 here, which is just kind of strange. Except for here, they're starting to put the volume in a little bit below it. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Big volume into that 618. So it does look like they're tapping this golden pocket, hoping it goes through. But that could be definitely problematic for somebody at the end of the day. So that's what I would really say. It's all about this range right now, the way we break this range, all right? And it does look like we are starting to close some very low time frame candles below it. Let's see if we can see something on a bigger time frame, maybe a 15-minute. But it doesn't look like it's going to do it. And I'd imagine they kind of wait for New York. Anyhow, let's take a quick peek at some other assets. All right, so the futures market looking pretty decent. Nasdaq's up 123 points. The ES minis up 18 points. The DAX 48. So things are looking, you know, I wouldn't say it crazy bullish, but they're looking positive, right? It looks positive. The Dixie down, so that's a good sign. A good sign for the markets when the Dixie is down. Yep, so I know that's not the answer you want to hear, viewer on, aka Crypto Yark, but that's kind of what we're looking at here. So it does look like they're going to try to break this down a little bit here. All right, so if we were looking for something off of this trade up here, it would have to be on a much lower time frame for me. And we can sort of talk about that. You've got a big M formation there, but it doesn't get really too far, comes back up. All right, so this is going to be one of those sort of 5-minute situations, I would imagine, for me. All right, so you get your high, your lower high, your lower low. Price comes back up, puts in once again a lower low. You get your 5-minute candle closing below the 20 EMA, and that's pretty much your signal. Stop loss above this entry candle, doesn't have to be above the high. See, yeah, you don't get stopped out. So that for me would have been the go-to. And that would have likely been a pretty decent short by now. Yep. There you go. It would have been a TP1 hit, but it's still pretty sketchy nonetheless here. All right. I would be using extreme caution right now coming into the New York Open. All right. So let's just clear all of this stuff out of here. Leave these zones all open. There. Where the price may stop dropping. All those zones I just showed you. That's what I would be looking for, right? Like, especially the bigger time frame golden pocket, but all those zones might be worth your while to keep an eye on. All right, so let's just get some stuff on here. So massive Asia pump right off the bat. There's our Asia opening range. Their daily open. Opening London range. Asia low. And our Asia high is the high of day so far. Get out of here, auto. All right, so far, what have we done? We've set the previous day's high, and we are holding it once again as support right now as well, all right? Which is exactly what we did yesterday, right around here. So that's pretty interesting. So previous day's high. We got our previous day's close right there. Previous day's open was quite a bit lower, so we're not going to even mark that out. So here we are. So in terms of what the possibilities of the day's price action is for accomplishing things off of yesterday's, we've already swept the previous day's high, so that's done. If we lose this, we could definitely go for a daily open test, and we may even go all the way down and sweep the Asia low, which would also bring us very close. Let's see here. Those would be some nice lows to take. I thought we were a little bit closer to all this imbalance here. Which factors for short we could look here from highs, not from now. I mean, once we touch GP, we already touched the GP, right? So the GP's been touched. We haven't gone to the deep end of it, but I just went over that with the 20 EMA 5-minute chart, right? You can't really use your larger time frame EMAs here. Like your big three are going to be useless in this situation because you're just sideways, right? So get rid of that, right? As soon as this starts doing this, it's just useless, all right? So in terms of entry, you know, you gotta do the usual stuff, all right? So it's the same thing every day. You've got here a weird little pivot. You've got an order block. You've got a high. All right, if you look here, you've got this on the 1-minute chart, all right? Order block, bunch of fair value gaps, ripping it to the downside, eventually putting in a low right here. Imagine that. It's the golden pocket, sweeps this high into a fair value gap. All right, so it's the same things over and over again, right? You don't have to you don't have to really ask questions because it's going to be the same thing. The entry criterias are pretty much always the same. The levels are always going to be different, but the way you're looking to enter, all right, you have to have that sort of defined. Are you going to use EMAs? Are you going to use fibs? Are you going to use highs and lows? What do you want to use? Because they're all useful. You can use them all. So that is the difference between some of the traders in our group. Is you're going to see some of them are a little more risk averse, like myself. I'd rather see confirmation, and then you're going to see guys who will just long as soon as it hits their level, and they'll play it accordingly, right? So how do you want to do it? Do you want to, for example, we'll get into this. Got 6 minutes before the open. All right, so price is coming into the golden pocket. It's a relatively big range because it's a high time frame move, right? So in terms of just the golden pocket range, you're looking at 0.49%. Right, so you could still get in with, let's say, if you're going to put your stop loss right here, which is not advisable, but you could get in with a pretty decent portion of your trade there. If you're going to look at it a little more wisely, you know, price can definitely come above this and then come back below. So if you're looking to just limit order in on the 618 and then put in the second part of your position at the deep end, or you might want to divvy those up, right? You can do that if that's what you want to do, right? If you want to trade on just first touches, that's fine. So you could get in there, maybe have an order in the middle, and maybe have an order at the back end, which would be your full order depending on your stop loss. You would have to figure that out, right? So where are you going to put your stop loss? If we look back here, you've got a high, you've got, oh, that's already been mitigated. You've got a little fair value gap there. That's kind of weird. This candle, really not a great fair value gap. And you've got this high. So you might actually have to put your stop loss at that 786, maybe just slightly above that high. right? So now you're looking at a 2% stop loss. That's huge. So you can take this, but your margin is going to have to be relatively small, right? So you don't want to risk more than 0.5%, 1% of your account on this trade. So you're going to have to be really reducing your margin. So you could take that. Okay, so for me, I would rather not do that, and I'd rather wait for a reaction. So as price comes up here, you're not getting much of a reaction so far on the 30-minute chart. Again, if we go down on that lower time frame, okay, it's all about this range for me. That's it. So once we aggressively break away from this range, we'll call that the low. Actually, I don't need to do this. I've got you right here. I believe that's you. Yes, that's you. Okay, so to get in on a trade on the breakout of this range, if I'm on the 1-minute chart, what I need to see is aggression, push away from it, and then come back up for a retest of it. All right, I don't like these little tiny moves below it. All right, this is potential fake out stuff. So I'd want to see a push away and then leave some form, some sign of strength. Right, could be a fair value gap. That would be the best. That then goes down and sweeps some of this liquidity. Right, comes back up, hits a fib level in a fair value gap, something like that, or just the range low, perhaps in a golden pocket or a fib level, something like that. But it does look like they're just trapping people right now. 2 minutes till the open. All right, so here is our pre-market low. And our pre-market high. You know, and then keep in mind too, if it starts pushing away from here, then you can open up your big three. You don't have to catch the move absolutely from the beginning. You can catch it on down the road into its first pullback into the big three. Right? Which a lot of times in these situations would be my preferred thing to do because, you know, this does look pretty sketchy, right? This is a range. So in a range, generally your first move outside of the range is going to be a fake out. That's the sort of rule of thumb there. Whether you're looking at Wyckoff theory or price action theory or whatever it is, your first break of a range, whether it be a channel like an ascending or descending channel or just a static side-to-side range, generally what you're thinking about. First move is a fake out, and then they'll start to show you the real intentions afterwards. So in that case, it makes a lot of sense if you just let price go and then wait for a pullback, be patient, wait for your signals off of, you know, whether it be the big three you're trading or however you're looking to do it, maybe a pullback into, again, a fair value gap, order block, something of that nature, right? Previous day high, perfect hit off the New York Open. But the best one for me would have been that the 5-minute 20 EMA. All right, you would have gotten take profit 1 out of it so far, not 2. What's going on, Mr. Unknown? Good to see you're not as angry as usual. Not much, just watching the open. What's going on with you? Just came home. All right, let's see how this open. Come on. Oh, what am I doing? Trading above the opening range now. Leave potential fair value gap here in the opening range. That's always interesting to watch. Yeah, like Asia set us up for a decent move to the upside here, right? So that's pretty nice of them. Asia just casually brings it up and then forms this range. London opens. It has done absolutely nothing except consolidate and trap volume. All right, so which way is this volume trapped? Or which way is it going? A break out of pre-market range is not something you could trade, says Marius. You could if you're scalping it, right? You definitely could if you're scalping it. Also depends on the instruments. Like I would do this on the NASDAQ. I'm trying not to trade the New York Open on the NASDAQ this year. That's a goal of mine. So, but a lot of times on the NASDAQ, I would scalp the pre-market range, right? So hit into that 618 one more time. Also the London opening range. Now I don't really like like the breaking out. I wouldn't hop in, but I would look for a retest on it, right? And if it hits and holds, then yeah, that's something you can definitely trade. Watch them, put them on your chart every day and watch it. They're good levels. They'll give you quite a bit of info and directionality, and sometimes they will work as very good, solid support and resistance. So you can definitely trade it. Let's see this fair value gap here. All right, so a lot of people will kind of talk bad about watching this stuff on a 1-minute chart, talking about fair value gaps. But if we take a pull right now, look at that golden pocket right at the bottom of that fair value gap. There's your wick high right in the middle. So 0.5 holding so far. All right, so then the question becomes, how crazy are you? All right, let's say this closes now above the pre-market. Do you want to long this? If you do, like I couldn't fault you for it. There it goes. All right. You are longing into a golden pocket though. That's already rejected a couple times and we haven't gone deep into it. So it might be pushing towards the deep end here, or this could be the beginning of a bad trade, right? But I love these setups. Opening fair value gaps. All right, this is the one that I would trade on New York all the time on the NASDAQ. And usually you'll get a quick, quick 25, 50 point, quick, within a few minutes, it's your day is done and you can walk away. And honestly, if I scalped Bitcoin, so off of the 0.5, 2.3, but off the close there is 0.14%. That's not enough to even cover my fees. But it looks like she's going. Looks like she's going. So maybe we're at least going to go up for a stop hunt there. And now we've got a very looking for a stop hunt above, right? We had all those zones that we were marking out for the stop below. Ellie Rosie, long or short? I would say yes. No, I'm kidding. We're hitting into very good resistance right now, but I don't know if this is over yet. So personally, what I would suggest is relax, take your time. Here we're hitting off 618. Here's the deep end of the golden pocket, and here's our Asia high. So we have a real good possibility here of New York coming up, sweeping Asia. Right, take out the Asia highs, or at least London. But a great place for a target for that stop hunt would be the deep end of this gold pocket. Right, if that does not happen, we hit into it, had a little pullback, put in a low, then put in a high, and then we've just formed this range. So our Asia range is in fact the range that we're looking to break out of. So if it's short, I'm going to wait for price to break aggressively out of this and then wait for a pullback and a go. Right, so that's where I'd be shorting. And I don't think the long is coming, honestly, but that's just what I think. What I think and what happens in the markets are generally two different things. So I think something, but I stay open to all possibilities. Hope that answers your question, Ellie Rosie. So New York having a problem getting above that 618. If they can pull it off. You are very welcome. Anytime, Ellie. My pleasure. My pleasure. And overall, I would say it's bullish. Like, it looks pretty bullish. Not where we are right now, but overall. So even if we do get a rejection here, that's going to be a fantastic place. That daily open, man, will be a real nice area for it to come back and bounce off of. So that would be really interesting. Remember your Andy lines. Andy lines. What are my Andy lines? Oh yeah, my Andy lines. Oh man, even those all right, folks, smash the like button and hit subscribe if you like what you're seeing. And also we've got a Discord community. Link is in the description if you want to go in there and talk with traders and like-minded people, as long as you're not a douchebag. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. We even have some douchebags in there. Kidding, I'm kidding. Yeah, join the Discord group. It's a very chilled out environment. This evening we're actually doing a live lounge session on volume profile setups hosted by yours truly, and you can get access to part 1 of that video as well in there. It's not available on YouTube, but you can definitely get it in there. So join, ask questions, and hang out with people who are on the same endeavor as you, sharing ideas, posting charts, and doing all kinds of technical analysis. That is what we do. Do the opposite, guys. Dislike, and you know the next step. See, there's one of the douchebags, Mr. I'm kidding, Mr. Unknown. I love you, brother. I'm one of the douchebags. That's the reality. But for the most part, I'm not, actually. Anyways, that's enough half-hearted self-promotion. Will you record this? Yeah. This evening's will be recorded, Crypto Yark. Yeah, man. It'll be, yes, sir, about volume profile. Yeah, it'll be recorded, and then we'll post it up again. The market reaction is strong right now. Buyers and sellers are in, I guess. Yeah, this is, so I mean, this is really just trapping volume in here, Ellie. So it does look bullish, right? We have all the signs that we are bullish, but we're hitting into severe resistance here. And we put in this range here. So all this range really is a volume trap. They're just getting positions filled up before we move back up. Oh yeah, we hit the GP. We've hit it a bunch of times already, man. So that's officially our, what, 4th crack into it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th crack. 6th crack into it, all right? So, but don't be fooled. This is when a lot of inexperienced traders will start to say, oh, we're consolidating under resistance and we're having cracks at that golden pocket, right? But don't be fooled. Wait to see what's going on here, because it is New York. It is the open. We're only 13 minutes into the open. Oh, pre-market GP. Oh, okay. Sorry, sir. And we might be going up for a stop hunt on this to then turn it around. All right. So if you're thinking about, rather complex sort of theories here, this could potentially be a Wyckoff spring here. Right, so we've swept the low, come back in. Now we could be pushing up, and this could mean that we're coming up to sweep these highs. All right, it doesn't mean that we have to continue higher, but it could definitely mean that our first fake out here. Take this back down and just look at these 1 minute. So it just keeps cracking at that GP. All right, so you're talking about the opening range GP. Not the pre-market, right? Opening range golden pocket, pre-market would be from here. So there's your fair value gap all filled in now, and that golden pocket hit. Yeah, no worries, Maris. No worries, man. You don't need to apologize. I'm just saying that so that it's clear, all right? Not just for you, for everyone. Let's see. I think they're gonna go for it. I think they go. Get through this. Explain the stop hunt, please. Sure. So there's many forms of stop hunts, right? The one we're specifically looking at right now is a Asia range stop hunt. The patchwork. The Tom H breakout strategy has not worked in the Dow since the day we changed from summertime to wintertime. Coincidence? Or do you think these things impact some kind of cycle? I'll answer that question quick, and then I'll get back to you, Ellie. So like every setup kind of has seasons, right? They're not specific to wintertime or whatever, but they're very useful. Let's say you have like a 60% win rate on something, super useful, profitable. It hits pretty much a couple times a week, and then all of a sudden it'll just stop working. All right, you'll just have loss after loss. So you can forget about that setup for a little bit, put it aside. You can keep going with it, hoping that you're with good risk management, that'll even itself out. But what I would recommend is you have more than one type of setup that you use, right? And you focus on the ones that are working well at the time. So it's kind of like owning a business. You want to understand your revenue stream and where your revenue stream comes from, right? So if, for example, you've got, it's like the example I always use is the 80% volume setup, value area setup, sorry. If you notice that for a couple of months, it's just not working at all, look at it, see if you have to tweak your take profit maybe, because a lot of times it'll work, it just won't work as well. So instead of going to the other extreme, it'll hit like the point of control, or it'll hit some fair value gap or an order block or something. So just see if you had tweaked it and taken profit a little bit earlier, it still might have been really successful. Or you might have to just kind of abandon it and focus on setups that are actually really working. So you always have to have those things available to you, right? That's why I find the like swing failure patterns for me are the most important things to have in your arsenal of trading, because they work, and even when they don't work, your stop loss is teeny tiny. All right, back to the stop hunts. So this is our Asia high here. All right, Asia put in its high at just before 5 a.m. and you have some aggressive short selling there, and some more aggressive short selling, and then it starts to put in a range, right? So if you think about this zone up here, you've got most likely quite a bit of liquidity up here, Ellie. So all of these traders that have been opening shorts here, they're probably going to have their stop losses just above these highs, right? We can look back and postulate maybe something different. They might have their stop losses above this, which is the deep end of the golden pocket on the macro time frame. I'll just pop out here. So that's where we pulled our fib from here. Let's get back in here, zoom in on the 1 minute. Here they go. Okay, so if you're New York and you're trying to, let's say, if you want to go for a test of the daily open, you're not really going to let these guys ride it all the way down with you. You may as well go stop them out and then turn it back around and see if they'll jump back in the market. All right, and when we talk about day, like these guys are probably sleeping by now. Look at that. What's happened to my golden pocket here? 1 second here, guys. I've done some foolish things. And we're through that golden pocket now. Right. Why are you doing this? Okay, this is really bizarre. Why does it keep moving it? Okay, that time it worked. Okay, so we can safely assume now, Ellie, that this has stopped out all of these guys here, okay? They had their stops either above the highs or above that golden pocket. They've all been hit, all right? And so now we're going to relax and wait for reaction here. Okay, so once again, this is our Asia high. We're going to see how price reacts when it comes back below here. If it does come back below here, stopped out some shorts now then, but then again, you have longs that wants to take profit also from the same range below. Yes, this is true. And not only that, is that these stops will become longs, right? So they're gonna aggressively push away from this, right? You're welcome, Patchwork, man. No worries. And I'm sure Tom will talk openly about that on his streams too. He'll talk about that difference. Okay, so yeah, now we're above this golden pocket here. We want to see what price is going to do. So this could potentially get pretty bullish right now, right? Is this the kind of place you want to be looking to take a long? Not really. That golden pocket in your fair value gap setup was the one so far, but now let's see what happens here as it comes back into the golden pocket. All right, so this is a huge golden pocket here. Again, it is a higher time frame golden pocket, so it's pretty big, and it could get pretty sticky in here still, even if it comes into this Asia range again. So you got to be real careful with these. All right, but now would be perfect if most of these people are stopped out now. You're not going to give them a free ride. Go down to the daily open, give that a test and see if it goes. Nobody's tested it yet. All right. And this held off of this on the 382. So pretty bullish sign. Oh yeah, there it goes. So yeah, it looks like it's not a stop hunt. It is a move. Breakouts are often fake outs also though. I'm sure there are stats on that. Yes, they are. The first breakout is generally a fake out. It is huge. That's why you know, if you're a breakout trader, you generally want to wait for a retest and confirmation of the retest. So that's pretty much it, Ellie, on the one we're looking at. But you can think of that in many different ways, right? If you sort of just think about stop hunts as liquidity grabs, all right? There's trades here. There might be even some open short positions here, right? They've seen that this high is holding. So people might have some positions that didn't quite get filled here, or traders might be saying, oh, that looks like a decent high that's holding. It's been hit 3 times, should hold one more time maybe. Price comes in, they hop in, price just goes against them, shakes them out of the market, and then they're forced to make a decision as to whether or not they need to recoup and regroup, or if they just hop right back in. So I would recommend you recoup and regroup, get your composure, try to figure out what's going on, look for signs of what they're doing. But the day does look like it does look pretty bullish, all right? That I have to say. But still, you never know here. And this is a notoriously difficult time to trade during the New York Open. So be careful. Get the volume back up here. Decent 1% out of that opening GP though. Let's see. Yep, very nice. Yeah, it's a great scalp. Like I love this strategy. I really do. And I would trade this on alts. I would trade it on anything, just not Bitcoin because I don't really scalp or day trade Bitcoin. And I would trade this on the NASDAQ New York Open. When I see it, I can't say no to it, honestly. Honestly, can't do it. Because they are those trades that will, if you do it out of the opening range, you know, your stop loss is generally going to be real tight, even on the NASDAQ. And honestly, you can generally get 25, 50 quick points out of it. Like sometimes it happens in like 30 seconds. I think, Marius, I think you've seen me do that on the New York Open, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, take profit 1 hit, take profit 2 hit, I'm out of the trade. It just goes that fast, all right? You're very welcome, Ellie. Yeah, join. I don't know if you're in our Discord group, but join it. There's lots of we do have a VIP section and we have a normal section, but we interact with the normal section quite a lot. Like we're not snobs. We do a lot of streams in there, free education stuff. Yeah. I took the GP plus FPG on opening range, TP1 and TP2 hit. There goes Funky Pants. Good man, Funky Pants. See, Funky Pants starting to figure me out. No signals here. But there are kind of signals here, aren't there? NQ, New York session. Nice trade, close. Let's just take a quick peek at this bad boy. Yeah, that's real cute. Under, over. Yeah, that's pretty cute. Pretty cute. Look at that. 129 points. Dang. Dang. And I wouldn't have even tried looking at this because you've done your under. All right, so this is actually pretty good teachable moment here. All right. Yeah, I refer to you as Mr. Early Pullout. What the hell is going on here? What are you guys talking about, Mr. Earl? Okay, never mind. So in this scenario here, all right, I'll just explain like some of the weird differences I look for in this. So you've got this fair value gap that's built right on the first move, all right? So you get an open here, opens here, wicks up, comes down. Next candle leaves you your fair value gap and you push away from the New York opening range, all right? And then when you get the pullback into it, that's when you're looking, all right? New York opened 20 minutes ago, Ellie. Yeah, New York is opening soon. I'll prepare for the trade. Let's see. Yeah, it's done, Ellie. It opens tomorrow now. I mean, it's open all day now, but it opened 29 minutes ago. All right, and be very careful with this trade, Ellie. This is not for the faint of heart. So watch it, learn it. You know, you don't need to take this trade tomorrow because there are some variations to it that'll freak you out. So this is very straightforward, this one, because you've got 2 quick candles. You push out of the opening range and then you come back into that golden pocket in the fair value gap and it goes. All right, and this is not 100% successful, but the beauty of it, okay, is that you're trading a fair value gap and a golden pocket, and you're going to put your stop loss, all right, just below the opening range. Okay, so if you look at that stop loss, it is teeny tiny, right? Like you can maybe put it at about 0.2%. All right, but if it starts breaking down here, like if it wicks, that's one thing. All right, but if it starts closing candles below that, especially this fair value gap candle, then your trade has been invalidated. All right, so you can look to get out of it, or maybe you think that this might be a valid order block and you can hold on to it a little bit longer and see if it'll go. All right, but this 2 or 3 candles, kind of the same move, all right, is what you really want to see on the NASDAQ. Let's go over this, because you have a push up and then you have a move that breaks to the downside. All right. Now price pushes back up, and this is all just eaten right up. Okay. So if you were looking at this move here, you're going to find yourself in a fair value gap here with a golden pocket as well. All right. But because it's gone up and done a fake out to the downside, all right, you don't know it's a fake out, right? But I'm a lot less willing to take this trade because you've done a push to the upside, then you've come down and you've done an under. All right, you've taken out this pre-market low, right? You've swept the pre-market low. You've got your pre-market high right here, right? So there's a couple factors to it. And then you push up, completely disrespecting these fair value gaps. And now you have a very similar setup where you can look for your fair value gap here and your golden pocket. Then you watch that reaction. I would never limit order in that. I would wait for that wick to start pushing up, and then I would hop in on a market order, take profit 1 at 25 points, take profit 2 at 50, 3 at 75, 4 at 100. That's the way I trade the New York Open. Yeah, so let's check this out. What do we got here? Crypto Yark saying, seems it was a golden pocket short. It's gathering. We go down now. Here on Bitcoin you're talking? Yeah, I don't know. You've got mega bull candle, mega bear candle. So now it looks like we're just going to be deciding, but this is very common here that, yeah, you push above the golden pocket, you get a lot of traders real bullish, and then you turn around and honor the thing. So the stop hunt is still in session potentially here. All right. So yeah, if it gets back into the zone here, I'd be watching price action to maybe get in on a push down. And now it's 3 o'clock, much safer time to be trading. Not all this crazy volatility. But this is a tough one here, man. I'm not gonna lie, because this is a very bullish, move up. And remember that we held here on that 382. All right. So that's a very good sign of strength. And if we look at our daily volume profile, it's also looking very, very bullish. All right. Now that doesn't mean that can't change, right? It can definitely change. But right now we do have a very obvious P. Let's with a pretty high point of control on the day. We've got value area at about 104 right now. Previous day's high right here. Yeah, man, it's pretty bullish looking, like just be careful with this because New York could really make a decent run for this. They're not going to go up too high, but they could definitely hurt some shorters here before then turning it around. So let's take a peek here at what's going on. Right, again, you've got this really horrible looking order block here. You could say that we've hit into that right now. Then you've got this great pivot up here with the selling tail. So, that might be the magnet that we're chasing right here around 106-ish, 106-ish, 109-ish. But I'm not saying we're going there. I'm just saying be careful with shorting this. Right, that's the way I would play it. But you know me, I'm pretty cautious about this stuff. So I would be waiting for price to break back below this golden pocket. Right, and then it's going to ping around here. If it does that, you're going to see a couple hits off the Asia high and then wait for it to break back in. And this is going to be a very sticky zone here. We've got the 618, we've got the London opening range, fair value gaps like crazy, order block right here. So make sure it's worth it, right, if you're looking to get in on that. But this does look pretty damn bullish, man. Ain't gonna lie, that is a sad response. Look at the volume. Very sad response from the bears after the bulls have pushed this up. All right, and if you look at, I'll tell you another secret about my live streams. Generally, there's quite a bit of symbolism in my thumbnails of my sentiment. Nobody's ever put 2 and 2 together on that one yet. Nobody said anything, but generally, it's the way it goes. All right. Yesterday was a bear trap. Today was a psychopath on a bull riding out of a dystopian future landscape or cityscape with a big old bag of Bitcoin. But yeah, still won't help you trade, but see if we could break this high now. If we break this high, but yeah, either we break this high or if we just create a consolidation here, all right? We might be putting in a little Bart Simpson here, but starting to feel pretty bullish, man. No response from the bears here, right? And the bulls are not really having to use much volume here to keep this range right now. So if they're trying to sucker longs in here, it's not really working. Yeah. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. All right, guys, it is 3:07. I am 7 minutes overdue for my afternoon caffeine fix and get myself on to my trading platform, start looking for entries on NASDAQ. I will be looking for a short relatively soon on this. I don't think yet, but I do have a USDT short open. I'll be looking to add to it again if we get up to around the 107 zone. Yeah, and that's no guarantees, but I will be more interested in entering at about that zone. And then again, for longs, I am more interested in around that 96 zone. So that could also be going out the window right now. Stupid question. No such thing, Majid. Stupid question. BTC sees 1013. Like today? That would have to be a hard no for me, all right, for today. But that's just today. So what I would say to that, Majid, is this. Yeah, tomorrow would be a little more understandable. But today won't happen. Today we've taken the previous day's high, right? That's very close to the previous day's low, if not the previous day low, right? So big chance we're not going to go visit that today. Big probability. But there is a really decent chance that if we don't move too far away from here, that price tomorrow could come down there. Let's say we start to bring price down here, maybe come down and test that daily open, start to put in more of a balanced sort of day, or even better if we leave a P formation here in our volume profile and have a close to the lows, we can start to push down and go towards that and maybe end the week there. All right, don't forget that these there's going to be a need to run for some profit here very soon from this recent low that we've put in. All right, liquidity providers are having to open up some shorts to provide liquidity, so they're going to have to bring price back down sooner or later, and that might happen tomorrow. Today it's highly unlikely. We've also broke the initial balance to the upside, so bullishness for today is pretty expected, but for tomorrow it could be a totally different story, and they could run the old free cash Friday for profit. Actually, we expect a new all-time high question. a new all-time high. This week, I wouldn't. But it's possible. You know, it is possible, but I really wouldn't expect that. Really wouldn't expect that. All right, so from here, I mean, we're not done in terms of resistance here. It's not just our golden pocket that we got to fight through. We've got to get through a bunch of stuff. We're at Friday's value area high here that hasn't been tested since we left it. All right, we've got high volume nodes up here. We've got the high there, and then we've got the all-time high. Even there's more stuff behind that, but we got a lot of stuff to get through. All right, another naked point of control right there from Monday, January 25th. So there's a lot of stuff for us to work through this week. And if you just take a bit of a zoom out here, all right, like that. All right, good push up, good little push down here, and a good push up. We've now got our second green day, so we could still go up tomorrow, all right? Or we could be just sort of getting into this tight consolidation here on the daily chart, which nobody's going to be watching, right? So it's going to come back down. Can we take a quick look at sushi? I cannot because I have to go out. Sorry, Majid, but we can do that on the Discord when I get back. But I got to go out. I got to go pick something up. But we can do it later on. Well, okay, hold on. I'll take a quick look. Let's get a quick look here. And I have sushi, my watch list. Right, so it's looking very similar. Green day after a red day. All right, coming into fair value gap here on the 30 value area low. You know, you're definitely coming into resistance right now. But if you look at the waves on it, you've got a lot of room to go up here. Not what I wanted. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty nice right there. 135 is definitely on the table there, and that would be that naked point of control with that 382 off of that macro range. So even if this is set for doom and gloom, right, this is not an impossible level to hit, right? John Wick. What, that's what you took the long off of, the John Wick? I'm guessing so. That's why you're smiling. But you are asking the question mark off of this wick here, if it's the John Wick. And that value area low, I mean, that might happen. That's what you're asking. But I really do like that. Consolidation, big push out. Oh, that's such a nasty consolidation zone. Oh yeah, that's my John Wick fib template. It's tough to even pull. I'll do it from here. Okay, so that is kind of what I'd be looking at as the only thing that really stands in the way of where we are now and heading up towards that naked point of control with the 382 there. So this is just that consolidation range before the big break, right? So trapping volume. The big boys move price out. So this point of control may be a real nasty one. The value area looks like it's going to give in, but that could be big. Okay, it could also take that out and run into this high volume node. And then this value area is also a really nice high volume node. So you've got 3 zones in here that you're going to get probably you're going to get reaction off of before it then hits up there. Ellie Rosie, I took a short trade right now at risk on Bitcoin. On what, Ellie Rosie? If it's on Bitcoin, yeah, that is some risk. So again, we have that break, we consolidate, and then we push back up. Now, New York sometimes does these 2 moves up before it completes its, on Doge. Yeah, no worries, Majid. On Doge, uh-oh. Okay, I'm just going to pop Doge up, and then honestly, I'm out of here. I really got stuff to do. Well, you know, you're coming into resistance there. It's not a bad trade. Just make sure you pay yourself relatively quickly, Rosie. Ellie, sorry. Ellie, take some profit as quick as you can. And make sure your stop loss is good and that you're practicing good risk management. And you should be all right. But yeah. Yeah, that's all I would say. Ellie, are you in our Discord group? If you're not, get in there. Link is in the description. Join. If you are, let me know in the Discord group who you are in there. So I don't think I'm talking to strangers. I don't mind talking to strangers, but just so we know. Hopefully. All right. Well, then just join it. You just get in there. It's free. You don't need to. Oh, you're hopefully thinking you're safe. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Thanks a lot. Hit the like buttons if you like what you see. Yes, I am in the group. Okay. All right. Let me know who you are in the group so that I can associate RSI 80 plus div 1 minute on BTC small pullback. Cool. But yeah, I'm gonna go have a coffee. Go pick some stuff up. It's stuff for you guys to make the stream better. Let's see if I can. And I will see you guys in the Discord in a short while. All right. Have a great one, guys. Be safe and be well, and we'll talk soon.